One of the biggest things that a lot of us have been waiting for is the hammer of justice, right? We're finding out all of this stuff with Doge, and I'm going to talk about some of the crazy bombshells, including six-figure payments to 11-month-olds or something like that. It is wild that, people need... you just need to see it to believe it. $330 million in basically fraudulent loans, including to a 9-month-old baby. People need to go to prison. And this is one of the things that I've been waiting for. It's like, hey, I think all these headlines are great, but we need to follow up with some actual pummeling of these people and prison time and firings. Well, apparently that's happening. I couldn't be happier to report on it. Let's get into the story. By the way, huge shout out to everyone who's going to pick up our Rumble bundles. Promo code Rumble to save 10% on them. We've decided to move into a new 15,000 square foot building at Coffee Brand Coffee, buy all new equipment so we can make like Nespresso pods and regular, different varieties of K-Cup pods, even the recyclable ones that have less plastic. We're going all in, but we need your help. So I put together these 3 really unique bundles that I think these are our best selling and our best tasting coffees. If you don't like coffee, we have teas and real cacao cocos and K-Cups. Link in the description. Please help us today by picking up one of these bundles. They're shipping in April. We've decided to completely reinvest every penny we've ever made into the company to try and really compete. And really, everyone else who sells coffee is just selling drop ship garbage that they don't care about. They just sell coffee from some white box building, put their label on it, and they're not invested in it at all. Obviously, that's not how we run things. And so if you're looking for a coffee company to support, one that doesn't care about anyone's politics, please go to coffeebrandcoffee.com Rumble and back us today. Attorney General Pam Bondi announces the Department of Justice will prosecute fraud, finally, that Doge uncovers and will bring back the death penalty for criminals. Listen to this.
Doing such a fantastic job. I thought maybe you could say a few words.
Thank you, President.
It's rare to see her not doing a Fox News interview, but, let's see.
As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you.
That's what we want. I don't want all these dorks given golden parachutes after stealing our tax dollars. I want them to go to prison. I think I'm not alone. Leave a like if you agree.
We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have...
I'm sorry, she just doesn't sound very tough to me, but that's okay. Bringing back, I want these people charged. I mean, listen to this. Elon Musk, while wearing a Trump was right about everything hat, says that Doge uncovered $330 million in SBA loans, that's the Small Business Association, I believe, to children under 11. The youngest was 9 months old, who received a $100,000 loan.
Well, the clear case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Well, we're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted, so we're taking that on. We have a zero-tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
It's amazing. And you have a lot of that. You found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud.
I mean, $330 million loaned to people under 11. Under 11 years old. There is 0% chance that all of that isn't fraud. I mean, as somebody who has paid taxes his whole life, okay? As somebody who has paid taxes his whole life, this is bonkers. Hundreds of millions of dollars to children. I mean, what? Now, of course, Pam Bondi threatens now prosecution. I wonder how many of these people are a little too, suddenly a little more worried about it. Suddenly they're a little bit more concerned. Speaking with President Trump at the meeting, Bondi thanked Tesla CEO Elon Musk for uncovering the fraud, waste, and abuse through the Department of Government Efficiency. A lot of waste and abuse, but there's a tremendous amount of fraud, Bondi said. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. We will prosecute. All of these horrible criminals also get the death penalty. The $330 million to kids is just insane. I mean, what was going on? Literally, what was going on with our leadership over the past 4 years? Now, I don't know. Let's say he uncovered all these loans. What if these loans were, over the last 20 years? I don't know. But a 9-month-old baby gets a $100,000 loan. Are you joking? By the way, Trump gets another huge win as the Department of Justice is telling the judge, it's over, move on. Now, this is, a lot of activist judges have been trying to, slow Trump down and, make things more difficult on him stopping the theft of our tax dollars, which is always, kind of hilarious to me. Why would anyone, why would anyone disagree with that at all? But apparently Democrats do. This is nuts. So the DOJ is now telling the judge to move on. It's over. This is in response to a judge saying, hey, stop trying to screw around with us deporting criminals, is basically what they're saying. The executive branch is hereby notifying the court that no further information will be provided in response to the court's March 18th, 2025 order based on state secrets privilege and concurrently filed declarations of the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is a case about the president's plenary authority derived from Article 2 and the mandate of the electorate, and reinforced by long-standing statute to remove from the homeland designated terrorists participated in the state-sponsored invasion and predatory incursion into the United States. The court has had all the facts it needs to address the compliance issues before it. Further instructions on the executive branch would present dangerous and wholly unwarranted separation of power harms with respect to the diplomatic and national security concerns. I mean, the fight has, why is Chief Justice Roberts meeting with these activist judges in private setting? This is the problem. We have some issues with Roberts. Remind the courts of their place. So Trump getting a pretty massive win here with these judges getting, basically absolutely crushed. Also in the news, job applications now surging among Doge's targets. Amid stagnating white-collar hiring, job applicants have nearly doubled in Doge-targeted federal agencies. As the Department of Government Efficiency upends federal agencies, a new report released Tuesday by the job listing website Indeed shows a number of workers looking for new jobs has spiked. Job applications from workers targeted by Doge are up 75% compared with 2022, according to the report's data. While job applications among all workers increased after Trump transition, the spike in applications from Doge-targeted workers is especially profound. Look at that. I mean, these people know it's over. And by the way, this is the appropriate action, right? Like, if you're in the Department of Education, if you're at USAID, if you're at, any one of these agencies that Doge is targeting, this is what you do. you go apply for a job. You look for jobs. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, this is the correct action. So I would expect to see job applications spike. Applications from federal workers in Doge targeted agencies, which include Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the U.S. Agency of International Development, surged 60 points from January to February. We've seen something like this. We've never seen something like this after a presidential administration inauguration. While there were increased job applications among federal workers, those increases were an order of magnitude lower. Well, these people know the money train is over. The money train, the cash train is over. I did want to give a small update on the Doge stimulus checks, which, many people believe should just be used to pay down debt, which I understand. But I'm literally trying to move into a giant 15,000 square foot building with my coffee company and buy all this new equipment. So $5,000 might go a long way. Have you picked up something from coffee.com? Pick up one of those bundles, promo code Rumble, to save 10%. As inflation continues to hit Americans in the pocketbook, many still hope a Doge dividend is still possible, despite the relative lack of new details on the topic. The idea, which was originally suggested by Azoria CEO James Fishback, has been circulating since February. The latest update is, of course, he recently said in talks with lawmakers from the House of Representatives and Senate were productive and provided insightful feedback. The next step here is going to be a bill, and the bill is coming very soon. However, the Federal Reserve is yet to offer any meaningful comment on the proposal. It's not acceptable for me to speculate on political ideas or fiscal policy, Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, said. So it seems like these checks, are a real thing, but it still needs congressional approval, which who knows if that's ever going to happen. But we certainly will have a lot more money after we stop paying 11-month-olds $100,000. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.